Not really. I don't think that one has to do with the other. I think, like you said, they did a really good job of locking up the young guys, Lane Johnson and Zach Ertz and Vinnie Curry, along with Brent Selleck. But I think, as you're right, Sam Bradford is the big decision that they have to make, and I don't know that signing those guys has anything to do with their opinion on signing Bradford one way or the other.
What'd you think of the Curry deal? He got a big one, not a lot of playing time, but it seemed like, they couldn't let him walk moving to this new defense.
Yeah, I guess he's a better fit with the 4-3 defense. He's strictly a 4-3 defensive end. So I guess they figured that, they put him in that kind of lineup. He's going to be able to rush the passer a little bit better, a little more consistently, and get more playing time. I don't necessarily think he's going to be that kind of an impact player. He hasn't really shown me that much. I mean, he did have a really good year in 2014 with 9 sacks, but I'm not sold on him necessarily, so I don't know if I would have given him that much money, but evidently they are, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, and then, they got the Lane Johnson deal done and the Zach Ertz deal. I guess this goes back to Howie Roseman and, what kind of job he's done so far. Are you pro Roseman right now, or do you think that, this is too much?
No, I think he's done. He has a reputation for locking up young guys, and those are 3 of the core guys that I think they need, or at least 2 of the core guys, Lane and Zach, I think they need going forward. So the fact this has, like you mentioned before, this has Howie's fingerprints all over it. This is what he's known for doing, and I guess this kind of shows what kind of confidence that Lurie has in him, which is kind of surprising given what happened last year. But I think it seems like he's giving him full power again to make the moves that he needs to make.
Dave Weinberg from the Press of Atlantic City. Excuse me, my at the Friday at the end of the week here, the throat's about had it right now, and this weather change has been crazy today, man. This thing has been nuts. The snow this morning.
I'm right with you.
Right? What's it like? It's like a tropical day outside right now. But, Dave, I want to ask you about DeMarco Murray, and if you think, there's any way possible he's not here next year.
No, I really think he is here. Yeah, I don't think he's going anyplace. I know that Des Bryant kind of reached out to him yesterday, asking him to come home to Dallas, so to speak. But I kind of think that just the way he was used last year had a lot to do with all the troubles and stuff, and his discontent, I guess. I think the fact that Doug Peterson is here, new offensive system, I think they're going to stress a more of a power running game, and I think that's going to play into DeMarco's strengths very well.
Dave, he makes a lot of money, and they would have to do a $13 million cap hit. Can you envision a scenario where they might just say, you know what? We'll suck it up and do it.
No, I don't. I think that they believe in it. They wouldn't have given him all that money if they didn't believe in his talent. And the fact that I guess he kept misusing him, but I still think that they still have a lot of confidence in DeMarco, and I don't think they're willing to take that hit.
All right, Dave Weinberg from the Press of Atlantic City, the Eagles news this week. I saw your article in the Press of Atlantic City this week on the Soul game not coming back to Atlantic City. They say it was because of a date conflict. Is that what the word was?
Yeah, I spoke with John Adams, the COO of the Soul. They had sent out a press release that they were going to be playing in Trenton this year, so he naturally inquired as to whether they're coming back to Atlantic City, and he said no. I called him, and he said they only have, because the Wells Fargo Center is going to be closed, they have to get ready for the Democratic National Convention, so they're only playing 2 games outside of that arena. One's on June 11th. I think the other one's July 9th. They preferred to come to Boardwalk Hall on June 11th, but Janet Jackson is there, so there was really no way that they could do it in that day.
So there's a possibility in 17, or do you think that's just kind of lip service?
Oh, no. I think they didn't really draw very well last year.
Yeah.
Much less than what they wanted, but I got the feeling that they had a pretty positive experience overall, and I think that the more exposure they get, coming back again, I think we'll draw a few more fans. They seem to be pretty optimistic about coming back. Besides the scheduling, though, they have to find a way to deal with the cost of playing at Boardwalk Hall. From what I've talked to other people concerning labor costs and that kind of thing, and their more than double than what they are at some other arenas, so they have to find a way around that.
Yeah, I read in your article that it actually costs them more money to play a game there than it costs at the Wells Fargo Center. Something doesn't sound right there.
Yeah, I know. It's been that case for. I know that's the reason why some of the fights that were supposed to come here didn't come here. UFC is very reluctant to come back to Boardwalk Hall because of that. So yeah, they have to find a way to reduce the cost. I know the CRDA was going to help them out, and they helped them out last year. The Soul I'm talking about, and the Boardwalk Hall also waived the rental fee for them last year. So I guess if they can do that again, then they'll come back.
Dave Weinberg from the Press of Atlantic City covers the Eagles boxing. Their columnist there as well. Dave, speaking of any boxing or MMA events coming to the city in the future?
Well, there's a pretty nice card that Showtime, the Showbox After Dark series is coming back to Boardwalk Hall's Adrian Phillips Ballroom on February 19th. So that's kind of a start in the right direction. And there's a local guy who's kind of behind the move to bring more boxing back, and he's the head of the new Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. There's a group there actually. Roy Foreman is involved, and a couple other guys, and they're starting a series at the March with, and they're supposed to have I think 6 shows there this year. So it's kind of a move in the right direction, but I'm still waiting for them to land a big fight. I think they got to find a way to bring people back to Boardwalk Hall again. It's been way too long since they've had a big fight here. Yeah,
I mean that was your column last week about getting the casinos involved in helping bring boxing back to Atlantic City. We're not even sure if there's going to be any casinos left to help bring boxing back to Atlantic City. But I guess that would be the one big way to make that happen. If you get maybe a Borgata or I don't even know which other ones are Golden Nugget's doing pretty well right now. I know Tropicana does pretty well, but it seems like everyone else is kind of in limbo.
Yeah, and those casinos, for whatever reason, I don't know, they don't even seem to be interested in holding boxing at their own properties, and I don't quite understand. I mean, Tropicana used to be a big player in the boxing game, and their arena there is perfectly set up for boxing with the seats on the stage. You can go right down into between the ropes at the fighters, and but for whatever reason, they just seem to be going in different directions. Borgata and Tropicana both have MMA events there at least once a month or so, and I don't quite get why they can't coexist, why boxing and MMA both can't be there. But and the main reason is that there hasn't been any big fights is because Caesars Entertainment is going through their bankruptcy proceedings, and Ken Condon's been almost solely responsible for bringing all these fights here in the last 20 years, and the fact that he's not able to do that at the moment, that's kind of the big obstacle.
All right, Dave, you've seen, obviously, the Panthers in action this year, Cam Newton, and have seen Peyton Manning in action many times over your career covering the NFL. Last ride for Manning and the new kid on the block. Which way you leaning for Sunday?
Well, my heart says Denver. I like to see, only because both Peyton Manning and I like to see Evan Mathis kind of stick it to the Eagles a little bit and get a Super Bowl ring. But I have a feeling that Carolina's going to pull it out. They seem to be the more balanced team. They both have really good defenses, but I think Carolina's offense has a big edge on Denver, so I have a feeling that the Panthers are going to pull it out. All
right, Dave Weinberg from the Press of Atlantic City, and you can read his columns and his Eagles coverage and his boxing stuff over there at pressofatlanticcity.com. And, of course, always good to catch up with Dave here on the Sports Bash 97.3 ESPN. Dave, enjoy the Super Bowl, pal. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
All right, care. Dave Weinberg from the Press of Atlantic City coming up on the Sports Bash. We'll do 5 questions. Hey, there's World Beef Free. I got an interesting story for you, Peachy, on the World Beef Free. All right, I'll bring that. Remind me when we come back. I got a World Beef Free story for you. He's on my shoulder over the on the TV here. We'll tell you that coming up on the Sports Bash. Sixers and the Wizards tonight.